Nice to see you.
Good to see you too, sir.
So my sister, is a hooker, made this. Made this.
You're live now.
We are now live. That's a great intro right there.
Carolyn, she is the best hooker I've ever seen. I'll tell you that.
And cheers. Welcome, everybody.
And we are off to the races.
That's right. It's a great intro here from Becker Vineyards, and on week 65 now.
Yeah, try to cover from that one, Bobby.
Yes. So we'll kind of get into this beautiful day with some great new releases. I know that we've gone through a couple of these wines, but since we've released the 2018 Viognier Reserve in the tasting room, and the 2019 Tempranillo Reserve just this last week as well, it's great. We got a 2017 Canada Cab as well. So welcome tonight, all. So we have Dr. Richard Becker tonight, our wonderful owner. We've got our great winemaker, Jon Leahy. We have Kaylyn Hall here with us, and myself, Bobby Totten, to bring you through these wonderful wines and tell some wonderful stories about these wines and the history of what we have here. So we'll kind of hand this over, and let's see what we have to offer today.
All righty, Bobby, thank you for that wonderful intro. Sorry, I was just trying to say hello on Facebook so everybody knows that we are live and receiving comments. So we'll see if that works. But apparently I can't even do that correctly. So Doc, would you like to lead us in for a few words, and then we're going to get right into the Viognier.
The only words are that this is the 65th week of fighting this pandemic, and I was just thinking of colleagues, friends, patients that I've lost, and many have been saved. And our country, many places, is really becoming strong and escaping from this by just getting enough people vaccinated. So that's what I hope we can all do and escape this. And anyway, my hat's off to everyone who fights this battle at every level. And it's not just doctors and nurses. It's just, it's 1,000 people for almost every patient. And anyway, our hearts out to them. And Joe would be here. Joe, who's a real doctor today, will be here when he can. So he's fighting the real battle. My hat's off to him too.
Well, we miss him, but we're glad he's where he's at. So.
Yes, that's right. So are his patients.
So the 18 Reserve Viognier.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have a glass? Absolutely. So I tried it in before I really get into it, I tried it in a couple of different glasses before we signed on, and I'm using the unoaked Chardonnay glass.
Yeah, the wide brim. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I really like the way this has got the nose. That's very nice. So Doc, what do you think of Viognier?
Well, I say what I've said before, this is one of the best wines ever made by our winery, and I think ever made in Texas, period. And it just thrills me that the wine judges in San Francisco gave it double gold. They're all California winemakers, and for the most part, and that's just a great tribute to maybe we had the idea to plant this grape, but we didn't have the knowledge to make it the way Jon has made it. And thank you.
Well, I'm kind of excited because both the 18 Reserve and then the 19 Market Viognier both got double golds in the same year, which is really nice. So
I know it.
If you can't have the 18 Reserve, you can go out to your favorite bottle shop and grab the 19 distribution Viognier. It's out there on the shelves right now. So, okay, Kaylyn, I'm going to put you on the hot spot because you haven't been with us for a while, Miss. I got to go to Montana.
Montana and a few exams, but I'm back, and I'm excited to be here.
And we are very excited that you're doing so well with your accounting courses too.
Thank you.
So you'll be able to keep us in gummy bears when you're all done.
That's the goal here. That's
Yes.
why I began the class in the first place.
Both Bobby and I are now going to be competing for gummy bears. So,
Okay.
My gummy bear budget is really expensive.
It's a little out of control.
yeah.
We should work on it.
So, Kaylyn, lead off. What do you think about the Viognier? What are some attributes that you enjoy?
So, one, I will say the 2017 was a beautiful Viognier, but I'm really excited to see this release. For me, the nose comes across, it smells like summertime, like almost like sweet peaches, really, really nice, ripe stone fruit, maybe just a hint of, I can't identify the flower. I have difficulty with that. I need to work on that, but white flower of some sort, maybe leaning towards honeysuckle or something along those lines. It's very pleasant. It's also delightful on the palate.
Bobby?
Yeah, so I was definitely picking up that floral essence of like the honeysuckle. Definitely that, the white stone fruits, the apricots, the peaches, and just a little bit of vanilla as well. It just kind of sneaks in there, and then on the palate, it's just got a bigger body. Where the 17, it was a little bit brighter. I think this one's got a little bit like a deeper, like a depth to it. Just kind of, this lingers, kind of stays with you. I think this one's great.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That honeysuckle is there for me. I've always felt like Viognier has this kind of hint of jasmine or night blooming cerise, this kind of very heady, very heavy perfume edge to it. That's what I've always loved about Viognier. A really good Viognier has got that really nice floral perfume edge to it. It's misleading. I think when people first smell it, they think it's going to be sweet, and it's a bone dry wine.
Right.
Doc, I know it's been a number of months, but when we talked about Viognier the last, and who was the emperor that is credited with bringing Viognier?
Provost John in 230. How could you? That question doesn't even need to be asked.
Yeah, apparently, I wasn't there, so since you have firsthand knowledge,
it's named for the city of Yam where he planted it. It's interesting that that historians thought enough of this wine to remember who planted it and where. And Yam means essentially road of the valley of hell. So it's very much like the Texas Hill Country, and in terms of climate and soil and whatnot. And it's had a very cyclic history down to 8 acres in 1965 in Condu.
right?
Amazing. And then kind of rediscovered, began to be planted in California. But I love to think about these grapes growing on our property or in the hill country, their history. This is genetic information that's been carefully protected, marshaled, and made its trip across the ocean and yet again, and arrives in Gillespie County, Texas, and finds a real home. And the first, not that it found a great home in our vineyard because we had trouble with the Pierce's disease, but I think we've licked that, and I want to replant this grape on our soil. But it's grown. Yeah,
I agree. I think it would be fun to retry, especially since we have a few things in our arsenal that we can use to prevent the Pierce disease now, and a lot more information.
That's right. Yeah,
we have a battling chance. Well, I'm going to lift my glass up to Probus and the road to hell. So, cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
Go slowly on that road, John.
Doc, I'm afraid I've got a sports car.
The DNA information about this shows that it's related to Nebbiolo. When you think about the bright fruit of the little sweet one, or of Nebbiolo, not the little sweet one, but of that Italian grape, you can see the relationship. We always talk about, that what's said about this is that it's the red wine drinker's white wine because it is so rich.
Right.
And but when I start thinking about Nebbiolo, it really kind of comes together in my palate.
Well, I miss the Nebbiolo that we had from Peter's Prairie. We only had it a couple of years, but Nebbiolo really does need 3 to 4 years in barrel before it comes into its own. It's one of those grapes that you really do have to age. And Sangiovese is the same way. And not saying anything, but we do have 2 barrels of 2014 Sangiovese back in the cellar.
Where?
No.
I'm Vin Trace, isn't it?
No.
No.
Bobby, stop it.
You know,
Bad.
it's interesting, John, that most of the California, there's exceptions, but most of the California Viogniers didn't have so much oak experience, so many none. And you made this wine in the Condrieu style, and many months in French oak or American or both, I guess. And
Right. I don't use American oak on white wines.
I'm sorry to hear that. And that's very expensive. And I just love this. I mean, way to go. I'll tell you, this wine is going to get better and better and better over the next 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
People always say, well, no, Nebbiolo, you need to drink it fresh and young. I don't think that's true.
No.
Depends on the wine and depends on the barrel course. The barrel, how much barrel aging it got.
Oh yeah, absolutely it does. And we try to make these wines, especially these reserve wines, in order to hold. We really do try that. And that's why I kind of want to play with Nebbiolo again, because, you know, I love Barolos. I really, really do. And I would love to be able to try to make one. But that aside, this Viognier is stellar. And I was very excited that we had both of our Viogniers in the same year got double golds. So that was a real coup for us, I think.
It's outstanding.
Well, yeah, you know, we are the most awarded winery in Texas, but shh, don't tell anybody. We wouldn't want to lose that.
That's been well protected.
Yeah, that's been
Best kept secret.
best kept. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to pre-warn you guys. Today, I'm not just going to let everybody get away with one dish and one wine at the end of this. I'm going to want a dish for each wine. And no, you can't say, hey, barbecue for all three is great. It may be. You're going to have to come up with 3 dishes. Kaylyn. I know.
Right now, I'm calculating my plan.
Yeah. Oh, we are getting a lot of comments. We really enjoyed the blending sessions from last weekend. So we have quite a few of our
That's
folks.
great.
Yep, are on there. So I asked them, are you going to hold this over me? And they said no. And yet here they are holding it over me. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, right. Hey, when do we get to announce your new position, Bobby?
I don't know. I guess it's already out there, huh?
I don't know. We'll just keep it a secret for another week. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't see any questions specifically for the Viognier. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask away. Otherwise, we're going to kind of jump into the next wine here, because this one's got me kind of excited.
So do we
yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do we ever blend any of the Viognier into our red varietals or any red blends?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yes.
Viognier is traditionally used as a co-ferment, especially with Grenache or Syrah, for pigmentation holding. So for the anthocyanins to really stabilize the color, there's a heavy amount of tannin in the Viognier, believe it or not, and it actually acts as an antioxidant. So basically a sacrificial tannin. That's you can do the same thing by using sacrificial tannins, but Viognier traditionally does that. It's also up to 5% in some of the red Rhone blends as a finished wine. And I did use it a little bit in the Prairie Rôti. In there, there's also a little bit in the GSM, but don't tell anybody that.
Okay.
But we don't talk about the 2% Viognier that's in there. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this Viognier, though, believe it or not, so this is farmhouse, ready, and Bingham. And it's just slightly more farmhouse than the other two, but it's almost a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. You know, actually, it's a little more than 1/3 for the farmhouse, but those are the 3 vineyards that this one came from, and could not be more excited. We've got such good growers up in the High Plains. These guys are awesome. And Cliff especially has done so well with us in the last multiple years. And unfortunately, that older block, the Viognier, he's going to have to refurb. So we're going to have to wait for a few more years to get back into that block. But the farmhouse crew has got some great wines, and I've got a 17-pound mountain lion staring in the door. I'm in my bar. So just staring in there like he wants to eat somebody. And then, of course, Jet has got beautiful Viognier. and VJ Ready as well. So, but
Right.
this is the 3 growers there, and then Jet and Farmhouse make up the 19 that's out in the marketplace. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you want to see the mountain lion?
Oh,
A ferocious beast.
Yeah, you say now because you're not here with his claws and teeth.
I saw the damage to the leg.
Yeah, exactly. He did that because I wasn't paying attention to him. All right.
That's tattoos. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Doc is studying that he needs a profession, so we figured tattoo artist would be good. All right.
Tattoos and wine.
Shall we go on to the 19 Tempranillo?
Best.
Happened.
Fantastic. Oh, and Sam just asked, is this 100% Viognier? Sadly, Sam, it's only 98.5% Viognier. The other 1.5% is Roussanne. Not this wine. This is a red wine. Sam, the Viognier is a white wine. Why is the song? It's hard to be humble.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Belinda. Your mom's awesome, by the way.
She's pretty cool.
funny. I have a great sense of humor myself, so she's certainly a tribute to that.
Okay, Bobby, lead us off with this Tempranillo.
So, I mean, I get that bright red fruit, but I'm getting some like kind of toasted spices.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a kind of blueberry characteristic to it.
Mm-hmm.
A hint of some like kind of floral notes to it, but more of the spices. Almost like a little bit of a molasses characteristic. And the palate is just, it's so nice. It's still really nice and young, but just the depth there is just really awesome. I mean, you get that blueberry, you get a little bit of vanilla that comes in there.
Right.
Oh, this is a beautiful wine. I'm really excited about this.
Kaylyn, what do you think?
On the nose, right away when I picked it up, it was all of the bramble fruits, like maybe blueberry, blackberry, maybe some cherry, maybe some raspberry. I don't know if cherry qualifies, but I'm just going to include it and roll with it. But immediately that was apparent to me on the nose. Maybe just hints of vanilla, maybe something coffee edge. But there's definitely something there that is a bit herbaceous, and it's not going to be like green pepper edge or anything like that. It rolls over closer to like maybe menthol, something in that realm that I can't quite nail down. But it's beautiful on the palate, and it's got beautiful tannins. It's not astringent, but you feel it. You feel it, and it's lovely.
Absolutely. Doc, what are you getting, sir?
But for me, what just knocks me over is everything that Bobby and Kaylyn said. You know, the fruit notes, the tannins, the balance, it's all there. But it's the lushness that really strikes me. And that's what anyone who loves wine is kind of, the first thing is that. And then because your winemaker makes you go back and just dissect the various fruits and other components. But this is such a rich wine, and reminds me so much of the best Tempranillos I've tasted in the Ribera del Duero and other regions it's made. It's way to go. Have we entered this in any competition, Bobby or Kaylyn?
We will be. We just released it, so I don't believe our deadlines for the 2 big ones aren't until this fall, and then of course the Texom's coming up. So yeah.
Have we made a better Tempranillo than this, John?
Yes.
No, that's not the right answer. Let me rephrase. Okay. Which one?
The 2023.
that there we go.
Yeah.
So What got me excited about this one was that, yeah, even though we didn't have the Touriga for the 2019, the lushness of the fruit is a very similar lushness that we had in that 2017. So I think we're heading down that same complexity row on there, which is really kind of fun.
Who were the growers for this?
Well, Kaylyn, I'm glad you asked because now I have to look it up.
That was important to me. I need to have.
It's important to everybody. Actually, I just have to open
Especially the growers. Yes.
It allows me to sign into the computer at work. So we get that up here, and then I can get us over to the composition. Hold on. Well, we've got the labs there. That's nice.
Well, you're doing that now. The name Tempranillo is interesting. It's from Temprano, which means early in Spanish. And this was a grape that's ready a little bit earlier. I think it was not so much bud break as it was when it was harvested, and that made a real difference in grape growing and winemaking.
Yeah, so where our Tempranillo for this, we've got Farmhouse, Leahy Vineyards, Drew Talent, and Ready Vineyards. So we've got basically the whole gamut of our really.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard "Curiosity Killed the Cat"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems like he's being gentle.
Dangerously close to my favorite mugs. There.
He heard you.
Yeah. No, he's probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we the only vineyard that we did not put Tempranillo in from this one, I think, was VJ's.
Okay.
So it doesn't. Oh no, I take that back. There is 10% of this is ready. So we got all of our Tempranillo growers in this particular one.
I love that.
Yeah, and there is just a touch of Grenache and a touch of Syrah in there. So just so the Grenache and the Syrah components, because we did not have the Touriga Nacional, which is a really dark tannic monster, but has a lot of fruit. So I tried to use a little bit of Grenache and Syrah to kind of alleviate those edges and kind of draw everything together. And I think we did a nice job with that. So
because it's harvested early, does that mean like everything ripens early? The sugar is produced a little bit quicker? And
well, it really the early ripeness is a relative term. It means the phenolic development happened early. We don't harvest before we get complete phenolic development, regardless of what the sugar is saying.
Okay.
Sugars and phenolics generally have a parallel course. Sometimes you get these cross spikes where the sugar will go up here and the phenolics stay and then they come up again. Inevitably, you'll have that, especially in our country. We have extraordinarily clean tissue cultures on these clonal varietals. So we've managed to breed out just about every vine-borne disease out there. That doesn't mean there aren't things that won't affect it. It's just, for years and years, we had what they call red leaf, and which makes the leaves in the vineyard turn the beautiful crimson color in the fall. Looks great, but it's shutting down photosynthesis. Therefore, you're shutting down carbohydrate development. So that's why we had this slow sugar development. If you look back in the 80s, a lot of these very rich, lush wines in the mid to late 80s into the early 90s had very low alcohols all across the board. We started seeing the cleaner tissue samples come out in the clones, the cleaner clone varietals doing the replant. And then 88, 89, we had a crash on the West Coast of phylloxera, where a ton of acreage was replanted. And that got replanted with the newer clone varietals that were much cleaner, much more resistant to phylloxera, which is a root louse and different things. We started seeing spikes in sugars early in the development, therefore spikes in alcohols in the finished product. So now with the maturity of these vines, 30, 40, 50 years on, you're starting to see them come into their own where they're not producing sugar as fast because of their age. So phenolic development is allowed to catch up. So we're starting to see alcohols come down slightly, phenolic development go up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is very nice. That you cannot have a great wine without complete phenolic development. So that's there. I love using the word phenolics. So, you know,
Which I love hearing it. So.
oh, I had something to show you here if I can find it. I don't know where it went. Oh, well. Oh, I made a bottle of booze.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Several.
Awesome. But I did it legally.
Oh, legally.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Well, it's, hold on. So I was gone for a week and I made this.
Oh my goodness.
I like the label, John.
What?
The label's nice.
The label is completely custom whiskey. No barrel aging. Completely
Not done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've gone through the Tempranillo. Has everybody given their opinion? No. I don't think.
On this-
Doc, have you given your opinion?
On the wine.
Yes.
Oh, completely. It's amazing how delicious and chewy the first two wines were, the Viognier and the Tempranillo. They're just great.
Mhm.
I love
So-
it. It's my favorite. Yeah.
There's a question, and I want the panelists to give me your opinion. I'm not going to answer the question. How many years will this last? When should it peak? I'm going to start with Kaylyn because she has that knowledge, and I'm going to put her on the hot seat because it's fun. What do you think, Kaylyn? You've been hanging around us long enough.
My first instinct is I would put this wine specifically at maybe like 8 to 12 years.
Mhm.
That's where
Okay.
that's my range.
Okay, Bobby?
I'm thinking like 10, 15. That's kind of what I was thinking, that was my range on this one.
So peaking at 10 to 15 years?
Yeah, peaking probably more towards like between the 12, 15, but
Yep.
like the premium spot probably around 12.
All right. Doc, what do you think, sir?
This wine, like the Viognier, has so much balance that it's not going to fall off a cliff. It's not, there's nothing to cover up with aging. There's not a bad character that'll maybe be diminished by a little bit of slow oxidation.
Right.
But I think it's going to be. I'd love to taste it in 10 years.
I would too.
I'll try. I'll do my best, guys. All I can do.
Just get a good night's sleep and you'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So Susan, I say that it looks like everybody's kind of pretty much in agreement. 10 to 12 years at least. If properly stored, this wine will probably come into its own. I don't think you'll have a problem drinking it between now and then, but I do think you'll hit some great maturity in about a decade. So but then every decade, everybody hopes that I hit great maturity, including my wife, and I still like stupid jokes. So there you go.
Cheers.
Here's to your
Jody's
dad
waiting
jokes,
for you to
Bobby.
speak, John.
What? What,
Jody's
Bob?
waiting for you to speak.
Yeah, yes, she is. Patiently.
A patient woman, yeah. But every time I taste a great Tempranillo, I think about a wonderful kind of barbecued goat, and like we had in Spain. It just pops in my head. I can't resist it.
Yeah, this I think this wine screams to be sitting on the edge of the Bay of Biscayne.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that right in the heart of Basque Country. This would be a great wine.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know where we're going next week. All righty,
good.
shall we move on to the beautiful Canada Cab?
Yeah.
We should, yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
give this a swirl and a sniff. You know who I haven't seen in the comment section is Gary. I'm kind of worried. Yeah.
He did send some really nice photos after the blending session.
Yeah.
And very kind of him.
Yeah. Plus, I haven't seen Angela. So.
No.
Or Trish by that. Have you heard from Trish, Doc?
Yes, and she's doing very well. And
Okay.
if she's listening, I want to give her my best. Wonderful, wonderful. In the history of Texas wine, I think she's one of the people I love most, and has so much courage and has accomplished so much.
Oh, yeah.
It's just amazing.
Plus, she kept you in really good pecans.
And she did, which I love.
Forget those.
Oh, man. This wine is very young. Boy, this has a lot of good promise to it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay, Doc, what do you think?
I can't talk about it. It's too good.
He's
It's
busy
just,
enjoying right now.
You know, it's when you taste a great Bordeaux, which is the way this strikes me.
Oh no.
Did we lose his volume?
We did.
Oh, there you go.
Boy,
It's in and out.
Yeah, it's in and out. Okay. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been a while since we've had the Canada in the tasting lineup. We just switched to the 18 Wilmeth, but cracking this back open and smelling it, the dark fruit that's starting to show up, like the plum, that's just so prevalent on the nose. A little bit of the pyrazines, not as much as they used to be. I mean, I still kind of get that kind of bell pepper characteristic
Yeah.
right there. But then the dark spices on the palate, the tannin structure just kind of like makes me salivate a little bit. I mean, it's beautiful. And this, like you said, this shows a lot of promise. I'm excited 5 years down the road to see how this is gonna be.
it always, I always think, I say this is a Bordeaux, and which one? Is it a 2010, 2009? One of the 2005, one of the great years in Bordeaux. And but which one is it? And the fruit on this is so profound. Usually with Bordeaux, you're waiting to overcome the tannins, and this is in such balance right now. It'll darken and deepen, and it's already got lots of both of those. It'll be fun to taste this over time.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's 17. It's relatively young. So, Kaylyn, what do you think?
That I very much enjoy this wine. On the nose right now, I am picking up like a hint of pyrazine, as Bobby was saying. But on the palate, I'm not getting nearly as much as maybe the last time I had visited this wine. I'm getting things that are more on the edge of like chocolate. And I think it's right now the tannins are in a beautiful spot for me personally. They're not astringent, but they're still there. I enjoy a wine that has like grip and texture. I think it's something that's really enjoyable and should be celebrated. Of course, as always, lovely fruit components and good brown spice. And I am a big fan of this wine, and I think this is one that I'm going to have to buy several bottles of and hoard away at the house for future me to get into. This is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I'm enjoying those deep chocolate notes on there. Those pyrazines are very mature. Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
They're this mature, John. Gosh, when we first bottled this a year and a half ago.
Yep.
I was at lunch, a wine luncheon with wonderful friends Woody and Harold and Scott and others, and they had some great 82s, including Aubryon and others. And so, and we poured those, and we poured a glass of this beside it. Speaking about a kind of unexpected maturity already, and it's not fair to say how good these were. This wine was compared to those. It doesn't make any sense. But I can tell you, it was memorable.
Good. Absolutely. My heart will for always, I think part of my heart will for always be Bordeaux, just because that's what I grew up learning how to make, so to speak, in this industry. So, and I love everything we do. I love all the fun varietals and stuff, but every time I look at Cabernet and think about making Cabernet, it's exciting and also gives me butterflies in my stomach. And I just keep saying over and over in the back of my mind, don't F this up. Don't F this up. Like, do not mess this up at all.
Well, what's so fun is that when being in the tasting room and hearing the comments of the people from these wines, that when they talk about, like, if, they've been, they've know wines, they've, experienced different wines in different regions, they come, they're like, you know what, this reminds us of Bordeaux. These wines remind us, of these different regions. And it's just such a compliment of what you guys do back there in production. I mean, and how we're expressing the fruit and showcase that, hey, these can stand up with, Bordeaux region. And it's beautiful just to see that.
I poured some of this on our pavilion porch Saturday for a long time wine friends, David and Pat. And they're very knowledgeable about wine, to put it mildly. And David said, this is a serious, wonderful wine. This cab from Business Canada. So that's all we could do. And we're going to, ultimately, it's going to work out.
Oh, what a good excuse to have a good glass of wine tonight. I'll tell you that. That's the perfect thing. So somebody actually did ask me if this, I shouldn't have shown this bottle of whiskey. Was that crushed malted grain Irish style whiskey? No, this is in the tradition of we only used 5% malt in that. So it's more like what you'd make bourbon out of. So corn, wheat, rye, and a little bit of malt. So anyway, that's answering that question. This is about wine, not whiskey. Now what I would like you guys to do, go back and smell the Tempranillo, then smell the Cab, and tell me if you don't get a little bit of off the Tempranillo, just some, not quite raisin-esque edge, but more like dried fruit edge. I didn't get it when I first, I may just because it's opening, but as soon as I smelled the Cab and went back to the Tempranillo, kind of cleared things out. It got a little more intensity off of that Tempranillo.
Yeah, I'm totally like a dried cherry, dried cranberry.
Yeah.
Dried cranberry, yeah. That's, yeah.
Oh my God, it's also super, super bright. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Okay, are you guys thinking about food?
I'm thinking about the finish on this Bordeaux Cab. I mean, it's just, wow. It's got everything you want in a great Bordeaux.
This, to me, the Cab is 1 through 6, easy 1 through 6 on there, and it certainly lingers on 6 on the palate.
And that's the hardest thing, John, isn't it? And making wine. You can have a great aromatic and have it fall apart. You can have a nice flavor initially and have it collapse, but to have it all the way through and then linger for minutes after you, sometimes weeks after you drink. Really.
No,
if you
really.
when you taste a truly great wine, you'll taste it for a long time, for days afterwards. It'll be in your memory.
Wow.
Yeah. So for those of you, before you start asking me the question, 1 through 6, so we're judging the palate. 1 and 2 are in the front, 3 and 4 are in the middle, and 5 and 6 are in the back. So that's how I judge a wine. I don't, this is 99 with hints of saddle leather and an overripe apricot jam spread on whole wheat crust. We could certainly go down those roads, but for me, it's where is it in the palate? Is the fruit fresh, and has it got varietal correctness? I just think wine should be allowed to express itself. So. Yeah, buddy, it's okay. I'm not going to say that.
It's getting fresh with you.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought? It's sarcastic wine. Okay, time for food pairings. I know that look, Kaylyn. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
I got a cookbook for you, by the way.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So,
Okay, that's exciting. I love that.
all righty. With a Viognier, Kaylyn, what would you pair?
Now I was so ready and then I got distracted. So I was thinking with the Viognier, it'd be really lovely with like maybe pad thai, or maybe like pineapple fried rice. That sounds really good to me right now. Or even just like grilled peaches. That sounds good.
Oh,
So there's like
grilled
a
peach.
lot of things right there. I've been thinking
Yeah.
about this a lot throughout the broadcast, because I wanted to be prepared.
okay.
I'm thinking with the 2019 Reserve Tempranillo, we had some really beautiful beef fajitas today from Hilda's. I think it would be fantastic to pair alongside it. I know you had suggested palomas. I think this would also be good.
Mhm.
And then for the Canada Cab, there's a part of me that wants to sit down with like a wheel of brie, and I have this savory fig and onion jam, and it's really beautiful. It sounds a little weird, but with some brie and that, I think it would be perfect with the cab.
Okay. Bobby, what do you think?
I was thinking with the Viognier grilled vegetables, like some like squash, eggplant, zucchini. Probably have like a little bit of like a mozzarella on there, like some sour cream. Do like a just like easy grilled vegetables with the Tempranillo, almost like tapas. I was thinking like tapas or like a paella or just something just simple. I mean, not like overly done.
Mhm.
Maybe even like a charcuterie, just a nice little charcuterie. And then with the cab, oh my goodness, I'm thinking like a beef tenderloin, but not just with some grilled asparagus, some just nice little grilled vegetables with it, grilled carrots. I mean, I think it would just go so well together.
Mhm.
I agree.
Doc?
Come over to your house.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Lobster stew, cabrito, and coco van.
Coco Van?
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
come on, yeah.
Well, I'm thinking for out of the
Kitchen.
because eat like you give a. I love their tagline. Lemony red lentil soup for the Viognier.
that's so good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it is very good because you've got coriander, cumin. You've got, of course, the lentils in there. It's finished off with a little cilantro and grated lemon zest.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
And a little bit of potato in there, so it's very, very nice. With the cab, roasted sriracha cauliflower bites with peanut dipping sauce.
That sounds delightful.
And here's the reason why. We've had Cabernet with a little, not heavy, hella high heat, but a little spiciness, and cab will hold up to a little bit. But I think that would do very well. It also would do very well with the Viognier, those cauliflower. But this one's for you, Kaylyn. Mango curry.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, that would also go with the Viognier. But so there were picked out two for the Viognier. And I have to say that my lovely assistant, Vanna White, picked out these, but Jody just handed it to me because, here's the roasted beer and lime cauliflower tacos with cilantro coleslaw for the Tempranillo.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
She knows how to pick them.
I know, right? Now I want to do those tacos.
We're coming over to your house, right? Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I will tell you what, we'll do the tacos sometime soon.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
When the tiki bar is established.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Doc eliminated himself from the video feed.
Well,
You okay there, sir?
hang on for a second.
No worries.
trying to get back.
Yeah, what do I do?
Oh, there you are.
Am I there?
You are
Yes.
there.
You're here.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Bobby, what do we have on next week for our virtual?
Next week, we have our 2017 Signet. We
Okay.
have our 2015 Dolcetto and our 2018 Dolcetto. So it will be limited because we do have that library release of that 15 Dolcetto. And
Okay.
it is drinking so nicely right now. So yeah, really excited to revisit that. Yeah, because it's a beautiful wine.
Right on. Any wine club news, anything? We do want to kind of pre-announce the idea that we are planning on doing hands-on harvest. And we'll be sending out an email blast here soon with all the details and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about it because one, we're getting very close to harvest time. We are going through veraison in the vineyard right now. So there's there is some excitement there. I mean, the Syrah, the Syrah, and the Merlot are all showing color, but we are running probably a week and a half, 2 weeks later than we did the last few years. So we're looking at the tail end of July, beginning of August before we think about white wine harvest. So I'm thinking, Bobby, we were thinking what the second week, the 14th of August is when we're thinking about doing the hands-on harvest.
That's kind of, the tentative date. That's what we want to shoot for.
Yeah, and so you'll be sending out an email to everybody to let them know. You know, in the next week or so.
Keep an eye out for the emails.
Yeah. So, and I think, Kaylyn, any special things coming up that we need to announce?
Dr. Becker looked like he had a thing.
Yeah. Well, no. So Kaylyn so now we have, Bobby has become in charge of our wine club. And does everybody know? Am I making a mistake?
You froze. Right when you're about to make the announcement, it froze for a second. I just thought. Yes. So congratulations, Bobby, for being the new director of the wine club. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And Rebecca's still here for a little bit, so they're working in tandem to make sure everybody's taken care of. Yeah. So,
we'll miss her. She's teaching Bobby everything she knows. And Kaylyn's become the Cecil B. DeMille of our operation. So this is good. And we have a wonderful new person in charge of special events, Curly, and it's going to be good. But over my left shoulder, in case you haven't noticed, have you noticed? My talented sister has done has hooked this image of the front of our winery.
Oh,
and it is so beautiful. And
hand-dyed yarn that she dyes.
Yarn, pepper. Yeah, she dyes. Every color up there was created by her. This was done with lots of arthritis. She has lots of arthritis in her hand. I mean, she's just amazing. She walks 20 miles a day and reads 5 books a week, and she's wonderful.
And apparently makes some very flaky pastry with apricots in it, but won't share. Just saying.
Those are many
It's
things
hard to
that
get that
inspire
patient.
Those turnovers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They were good. They were really good.
Ooh, somebody just said lamb stuffed portobello mushrooms for the Canada Cab.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you once again for joining us on our Wednesday evening. I'd like to raise a glass to everyone. And please be careful out there. Good health and a great glass of wine. And we'll see you next week.
Next week. Cheers.
Thank